But can we transition into a conversation on another shall we say underappreciated movie star that I think we really need to bring some attention to?
Yes,
Do you know who that person's gonna be?
I think I do, and I think so does Turkey.
I don't think I want to know.
Could it be Emilio Estevez?
Oh, that's not who I was thinking.
There is a new Mighty Ducks movie coming out, and it's got Lauren Graham in it, which makes me happy because I was obsessed with Gilmore Girls for an extended period of time. But it's probably going to suck. Like, let's just be real. But I'm so excited about this. Like, he looks like everything I want out of Coach Bombay. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the trailer makes him look like a stud on a Zamboni. Like,
is he driving the Zamboni now? Okay, let's talk about, yeah, that's one of our favorite movies too, is the Mighty Ducks series, a series that is near and dear to our heart, and certainly I always liked the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, or the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, when they first started, and I think part of that was because of that movie, which I guess the reviews for that movie are terrible. They're like, I'm saying, like, again, I think they have about a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes for critics.
The Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're very, very bad. And they're very stereotypical, but I just want to say Gordon Bombay in that movie, and some of the lines he has, but it's not just that. It's when he drives his limousine onto the ice, which is a very unsafe thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Bombay knows everything about the ice because he played it for, like, during his childhood.
Yeah, that's right. How they build him up to be like this superstar player, and then it all went wrong because he hit a post when he was 5 or whatever. And they're just like, you could have been one of the greats. It's just like, you quit when you were like 5.
And then next thing you know, he's playing for the Miners.
That's right, because on the second movie, which may even be better, he just decides to try out, and he's on his way to the NHL, and then he gets his knee busted, which I don't think they hit on that any later in the movie, because he seems to be fine, even though he suffered a career-ending injury.
Wait, it's all the same movie. What are you talking about? So
that's the second one.
Yeah,
because between the first and the second,
yeah, in D2 Mighty Ducks, that's when, in the beginning, that's when he ends up hurting his knee when he's playing for the Miners. And then towards the end of the movie, when he's on the ice with Team USA, was it Team Iceland, the coach, went after his knee and called it quits because Bombay was about to beat him. They circled around to it.
That's the second one, but the first one is the one where they're talking about, you could have been the greatest. Yeah. You could have been a legend, and then it's like you quit when you were like 5.
Oh yeah. But he didn't actually hurt his knee until the second movie, is what I was saying.
Yeah, but he started up his trip to the majors at the end of the first one, and then there's kind of like the elapsed time between.
Oh, you're absolutely right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then suddenly he's like, and they're talking about, they're like, Gordon Bombay is gonna go to the NHL, and then he immediately just like gets his knee busted, and then it's just never hit upon until the Icelandic coach. What was his name? Like Wolf Stenson or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. And then do you remember how was it the trainer or like the female assistant coach?
That's right.
The hots for Bombay, when she's with the team. She totally like
yeah,
becomes adversarial, like giving him the look and everything. When in reality, she wants that Bombay.
Yeah, well, I mean, who wouldn't? But do you remember how they accuse, because there needs to be conflict in the movie, they accuse Coach Bombay of flirting with the enemy or something like that because he's like dating her?
100%.
And then the whole team's performance goes downhill.
I also love that, like, he kind of did just completely turn into a scumbag.
Yeah, he does.
He realizes it. He turns, like, he pulls a 180 and he turns into a human being again.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. That's like his character is all over the place because he's really down to earth and works well with the team and seems like a nice, genuine guy. But then the next moment when they need him to, he just turns into a total scumbag.
So it's like what's amazing is like, and maybe there are hints at this, we just didn't catch it as kids, but like his behavior is exhibiting like drug addict behavior. Like this is what happens when you do like crack.
Yeah, well, that's it, the whole plot of the movie gets started because he gets pulled over for a DUI, I think. And
Oh yeah, you're right. That's the first one.
yeah, because then they're like, because he's a super successful lawyer, and he gets started. He has to do like community service with the terrible hockey team.
District 12.
And then he's got that other jerk of a coach that used to coach him. When they've got that cheer where they're like, win, 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 win.
When? Oh my gosh. I can't remember his name. Although what was that district called? District 9?
Yeah,
Was it? Something like
yeah,
that.
that's it. The Hawks.
Oh, yeah, that's it. And then do you remember what was the character's name? Adam Banks, who was technically should have been playing for District 12 based on the redistricting. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. Of
Yeah.
like of the hockey teams and like based on where they live, and like it was so funny the drama that they brought to the table because
Yeah.
they're like, well, you can either go play for this team or you're not going to play. And then he's like, well, I want to play. So he goes and plays for District 12, and then at the very end when they're playing, one of his former teammates comes flying to a goalpost and he goes,
Literally
and then
tried to like,
the
yeah,
one
just
kid's like, "What did you do?" And the other kid, who's like, again, like 5 to 6 years old, is like, "My job." He could have
yeah,
just
like
killed
they're
this
like
kid.
they're mafia enforcers or something like that.
It's amazing.
Send the
Like,
kid out to put a hit on the other kid. And because Adam Banks's dad is like a coach on the other team, he's like, my son is a hawk, not a duck. And it's so dramatic. It's hilarious. It's like this is like 10-year-old kids hockey.
I gotta say, it taught me how to be confrontational, though. Just kidding. Oh, do you remember? Oh my gosh, was it Uncle Hans or just Hans?
Yeah. And remember they replaced him in the second one?
Yeah, with his brother from Sweden or something. Like they're both from Sweden.
It's the
What was
most
his name?
like it's the most like push it under the rug. We got a new actor moment ever. They're
what
just
was
like, I'm his brother.
what was his brother's name? I can't remember it.
Probably
It's
like
like Lars
Fonz or something like that.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's good rhyme.
It's like the lowest effort, like writing someone out ever.
Turkey, what are your memories of these movies? Do you remember D3 Mighty Ducks? When
No, I don't remember any of the Mighty Ducks.
well, D3 Mighty Ducks, he is trying to like you know how animals in the wild when they're trying to attract a female, like sometimes they'll fluff up their feathers or they'll do a special walk. Well, he walks up to this girl or skates up to this girl, sits down and tries to like identify with her and like finds out she likes Pantera. And he's like, I like Pantera. And when I used to watch the movie, I didn't know who Pantera was. But years later, I found out that they're a metal band that was like big during that time.
I've never
Wow.
even heard of Pantera before.
Oh,
So
seriously? Oh, you're missing out, man. Well, not really.
I'm currently taking notes.
I mean, if you want to know what he's talking about, if you want to know like where Charlie's mind was at when he was learning to do the
Where
triple peak,
Charlie's mind was at.
you would listen to Pantera when practicing the triple peak.
remember how they're like the best team in like the whole United States to the point they're playing internationally, but
Yeah,
then they try to go into a high school and they're too terrible to play there.
kids who are like a year or two older than them, like I love it.
Yeah,
And
it's such a convoluted series in terms of like making any sense. I used to love it though, and now you look back and you kind of can laugh at it.
I mean, the thing is with these movies, you don't need to have like relevant content or even much of a storyline when you've got a main character with the name Gordon Bombay. Like that's all you need for a successful movie franchise.
Yeah,
Gordon Bombay and his triple deke.
yeah, he's got all of the coaching moves that you need to put a successful team together.
Mhm.
Except when he doesn't, like at the beginning of the first movie. I forget what makes him a good coach. What like spurs him to be a good coach? Is it just talking to Hans? Is
It
that
was
it?
probably talking to Hans, honestly.
Yeah, and like
falling in love with the game again.
yeah, that's what it was. That's what I was gonna say. Reinvigorating his passion
Like,
for it.
He's like, don't worry, guys. We're not going to practice. We're just going to learn to love the game and you'll win.
Well, remember in the beginning when he's telling all the players to take a dive and then Charlie doesn't? He like gets mad at him and calls him out for it. It's just like the worst human being ever in that scene.
And then Charlie's mom has to come and talk to him.
Yeah, and then he ends up dating Charlie's mom.
That's so awkward. I mean, Turkey, you can't tell me you don't remember any of this.
I really don't.
I mean, at least tell me you're familiar with the American catchphrase "ducks fly together."
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know the very basics, but it's probably been 25 years since I've seen that movie, if it's even been out for that long.
If I were to yell in my like best Icelandic accent, "The goalie," what would you think of?
Again, I'm not really sure.
Actually, correct me, Peacock. Was that the Icelandic coach, or that was the Icelandic coach? I couldn't remember if it was D2 or D3 Mighty Ducks.
Well, the Icelandic coach would have been D2.
I just remember him saying the goalie in a like really funny way. It had to be him.
Yeah. Well, everything as it was back in the day, everything is so stereotypical and on the nose in that movie. It's kind of insane to go back and look at it because it's like, I mean, I don't even know what stereotypes of Iceland really are. I guess back then they thought Iceland was like tough because it was like Russia-ish. Maybe they didn't get the rights to do Russia or it was too political. And they just were like, yeah, Iceland's cool too. We'll just treat them like they're Russians. Because that's clearly what they're going for, is to stereotype them as being like tough Soviets that have to deal with the snow. It's like the parallel with Rocky IV.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah, they're like everyone there is Ivan Drago, and that's it.
Which
like,
is
that's basically the stereotype they're going with. But it's like Iceland is not. I'm pretty sure Iceland is not like maybe you can get away with that if it's like Belarus or Eastern Europe because there's like Russian influence. But you can't get away with that with like Iceland, I don't think. They tried though.
I think they were horribly misrepresented, and they probably don't play the Mighty Ducks at all in their country.
I don't think Iceland really Iceland doesn't even field a competitive hockey team as far as I know. Never seen them in the Olympics.
Yeah, interesting. Neither have I. Yeah, honestly, north of Canada, I'm trying to think, does Greenland even have a hockey team? I always think of Canada, Russia, USA. I mean, I guess several other countries, but like I can't think of any other hockey powerhouses.
Sweden and Finland are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I guess the Czech Republic is good as well, and Slovakia, but that's really it. There's not a lot. There are only a couple countries because hockey is not really regularly played.
Well, I bet you Germany shows up, but only with well-made skates.
Well, Germany is, I don't know. I think Germany has had some good players that have played in the NHL over time, but they've never.
Lightly. Just kidding.
What did I say?
I said tread lightly. Yeah, no, I've never even heard of like hockey in Germany. I don't even know if it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't think it is. It is in Scandinavia and in Eastern Europe to an extent. If you're talking Czech Republic, Slovakia, Slovenia, Belarus.
Thanks for taking a ride on Spaceship Piff. If you're interested in another trip, check out one of our other videos, and consider leaving a comment on our most recent podcast about how you paid it forward.